Alright, so this is a demo on how to construct a graffiti piece. The three utensils you'll need are a pencil, any type of pencil. This is my mechanical one. A marker with a finer point tip, and a marker with a chisel tip. Uh, any marker that has this kind of angle to it on the head. For paper, we have the tracing paper. I have a very small sheet, but this will work for the demo. Your finished piece will be done on this tracing paper. And this is the sketching paper for constructing our basic idea. So after you think of a name, mine is Joom. It's a nickname I've had since high school. So let me go ahead and draw that. Just extend that a little bit. There's some consideration for space when making your skeleton. You'll see why in a second. But the name Joom, there's a nice symmetry between the J and the E. It's not too long, not too small, has a nice general flow to it. So the reason why there's some consideration to be given for the spacing of the letters is because we're going to go over this skeleton with the chisel tip marker. When using the chisel tip marker, you want to hold it at a particular angle for the entire time that you're tracing the skeleton to get a unique line weight that you can then use for your final product. Yeah, so I always hold it slightly like rotated to the left. It's a little bit hard to show, but if it's straight, just angle it a little bit that way. Okay, so let's go for it. And put a little bit of pressure as you apply the marker so it doesn't give way and you get a nice consistent line just like that. It's also going to create some interesting ends right there, a little bit slanted. And there's also significant line weight variation, thicker up, lighter down. All right, after that is done, you're gonna take your tracing paper, place it over. It's generally a good idea to have some tape so that the paper doesn't move around too much. So you'll just, not too hard, but just kind of, glaze your thumb over that so it'll stay in place. So let's trace over the marker. Just gonna be kind of quick here. And as you are tracing the marker, you want to kind of see, and if you can't see it, kind of imagine where the letters might be in actuality, so that each one is distinctive when creating our piece, so that none of them get muddied together in the final product. As you can see, this U kind of hidden, kind of lost, but if you can use your imagination and you kind of know where the strokes were, you can kind of make something happen there. So let's see here. Yep. Okay. Just going kind of quick here for the sake of time. So here's another moment. So right now you have the U up in front, the J is behind it, the M is behind it. In this, the it has a little bit of separation, a little bit too much separation. So what you could do, you could go ahead, place the E right behind the M. Just like that. But still, for the most part, follow the guidelines of the chisel tip marker. It doesn't even have to be hidden, all of it. Maybe something like that, just things to consider, I think. Well, in fact, you know what? Put the entire back. There we go. That'll look interesting. Maybe we'll even set these back a little bit. Just a little. Okay. After you've done that, the next step is to trace over the lines with a marker. I'm going to pause. Okay, once you've basically done what you did with the pencil, with the marker, you can see each letter pops out a little bit more. You can kind of see everything a little bit better. And you have your letter placement locked. So this is the shape that it will take for the most part. So the next step after this is to pick a perspective on where you want light to cast down on it. And what's important is that all the shadows and line weights are consistent, so your piece is as strong as possible. So for instance, I'm going to just add some 3 dimensions to this J right here. Yeah, now the U. You get the basic idea, right? I'm going to pause and finish up real quick. All right, before I go any further, I just wanted to show you exactly what I did. So let's say the light is coming from the top left. So the shadows will be casting down that way, the bottom and towards the right. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in now, fill in the shadows, that is. Alright, so after I've filled in all of my shadows, you can see the letters are really starting to pop out now. You can tell exactly where the light is coming from, see where the shadows fall, and you could also see the order from front to back, U, J and the M, E all the way in the back. It makes it a lot more three-dimensional. And so this piece is not quite done. It has no personality. It's very basic, kind of bland, but something that you can always add to it is just a little bit of color. So what I'm gonna do, for instance, right here, gonna pick about the middle. Gonna draw a very faint pencil line so we can erase it easily later. And I'm just gonna color green from bottom up until I hit the line. Somewhere around there. Of course, take a little bit of time with it, a little bit more consideration, but even that right there, how much more life it gives to the piece. So, yeah, do about that and you'll have your first piece of graffiti.